start this back up. And hey everyone, Wanderbot here, welcome back to Cavern Kings. So let's play as Shelby. I haven't played as Shelby in a while, and let's turn dynamic camera back on. They're going to be patching this game within the next couple of weeks, I hope. And so I figured, you know what, we're going to lay off on the Entite just for a second. Just for a little while, you know? Especially if they fix the golden gun stuff, because I might want to prioritize that along the way. Ooh, this promises to be a very fun run, to say the least. It looks like they've done a lot of like cool changes as well, like fishes. They've added like these weird fish creatures that attack you. Like they're adding more enemies. You dick. They're adding a bunch more enemies to this game. I'm really looking forward to that because honestly, like this game needs it. It's a good game, but everything feels like hella homogenous after a certain point in time, and this should make everything feel better. My face is actually starting to feel a little bit tired today. I've been doing a lot of recording lately, which honestly don't really regret, but at the same time it's been like I did the convention. Oh shoot, there's a box over here. I did the convention last weekend and it was just like, alright, now you're completely out of footage. Good luck. And I'm like, oh, but how am I going to put anything up on YouTube? So I'm still like struggling. And at this point I'm actually getting my backlog going fairly well as far as like things are concerned, which is good. Because like, I was completely out of everything. And that's always kind of like a bad situation being as far as YouTube goes. Because, like, I mean, to be fair, this is really only a problem if you're me, or like Northern Lion, or like a very small number of other YouTubers. Music will be back in a second. I'm more than willing to bet. But, like, there's only a certain number of YouTubers that can, like, really get impeded by, like, not having a massive backlog. So, for example, yep, there it is. So, for example, you know, who's a good example? You know, somebody like Vanoss, for example, you know, a guy that only puts a video out a week or something like that. He could probably get away with, you know, not releasing a video for 2 weeks and not really have a problem with it. Jontron, for example, and I'm just going to be name dropping. Some people you might recognize, some people you might not. Dude puts out a video, what, maybe once a month? Tops? Dude can get away with a lot of things without people noticing. Me? If I stop uploading videos for a week, a month, I mean, there goes my YouTube career. Not really, but it definitely does slow me down a lot. I've got a lot of friends. I've got a lot of people I've like met along the way. They're just like, you know, what's wrong with my YouTube channel? You know, why aren't I doing, you know, as well as I used to be doing? And 90% of the time, the answer is, you stopped. You went on, like, this massive hiatus, and it's like, what did you expect? Or what are you gonna do? We've already got into the rant episode. I didn't even have to think of a... Let's see. Didn't even have to really think about it this time around. But, like, yeah, sometimes I get really stuck on trying to figure out a topic and stuff like that. But, like, it's not super uncommon to run across a YouTuber that's just like, you know, what have I done wrong along the way, and it's just always hiatuses kill you. Like, you think, say you're watching some like really good TV show, and then it doesn't, dicks. It doesn't come back on for like 4 months. Chances are you'll have forgotten about it. Chances are, you know, it's not gonna. Oh, what are the chances of that? I think I have enough jumps for this, but the ceiling might make it there before I will. Nope, that's my box. Got it. Got it. This is my box. Whew. Here's the question. Can I get the health without killing myself? The answer is also yes. But like, I actually have, I have a lot of friends. I mean, honestly, if you ever watch any of my co-op footage, for example, I've got a lot of friends that take, like, lengthy hiatuses or, like, stop releasing videos or just stall series completely. And honestly, to be fair, I'm pretty guilty of the whole, like, stall series and stuff like that. Oh, good night, Demon Dead. Have a good one. But I have a lot of friends that do that, and, you know, there's always kind of the... It's kind of an interesting issue. Kind of twofold, because here I am, you know, pouring almost all of my free time into YouTube, and, you know, having a lot of friends that don't, and truly I can respect it. But it does make it a little bit harder to, like, kind of stay on the same level. So, like, the only person that I actually truly am level with is Sebastian SB, and we barely even interact anymore because the dude has a job and is on the West Coast. And he's decided that he should have my content generation schedule but he's, like, more rigid about it, which I guess makes sense, but it's not exactly the, I don't know, it stops feeling fun if you're like, I gotta stick to the schedule. And, you know what? Like, I will be honest about it. I will miss an upload every once in a while. I will be late with things. Hell, I'm always late with things. I should be releasing my videos at, like, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and generally they don't go up until, like, 5 or 6, which is kind of bad. Ooh, do I want? I don't. Not really. Do I have a choice? Yes, I do. I don't really need the gems. We already got the experience. Can I? Oh, hey, I can get them anyway. Nice. Oh, chest. Yep. This is bad. Bad. Stuff like that. Do I have Mirror Moon EP? I think I do. I think I have the soundtrack for it at the very least, but I could be wrong about that one. I know it's in the latest Humble Bundle. I need to look at it. These ice levels are nonsense. This is why I like Alien. Alien makes everything easy. Wait, YouTube... Wanderbot has a YouTube channel? Wait, you didn't actually know... For any of you watching this live, yes, I have a YouTube video. Yes, I have a YouTube channel. Alternatively, if you're watching this after the fact, I also stream. I'm surprised this is, like, new for people. But still, let's scoot. I guess I try and keep them, like, largely separate in a lot of ways. Sort of? I don't know, I don't do, like, too much promotion between the two. I think YouTube automatically tells people I have a Twitch channel, which it shouldn't actually do so much so. Like, if you're any of those people that is like, Wanderbot is now live, and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern Standard Time, I'm not actually live on Twitch, generally. That's just YouTube being weirdly overzealous, and I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. But I don't do a whole lot of damage here. Oh well, at least we're not N-Tite, which makes a huge amount of difference. Oh, please die. Thank you very much. Okay. But, so, like, scheduling and stuff is, like, kind of a nightmare and stuff. Let's see, if I die, I should play Rex. Alright, I'll play Rex if I die. Unfortunately, I'm not betting on it. I'm usually pretty good at living as long as I'm not playing N-Tite. Even Top Hat I tend to live fairly long with. Hello. Then again, I think we're gonna fight a boss in 2 floors. It's kind of nice when you actually know when the bosses are, because it's like, alright, I know when I'm screwed. The answer is not quite yet. It's a good feeling. Anyway, we also have a bunch of extra jumps. Those matter. I'm kind of hoping I can get 1 cluster of iron beforehand. That's not, like, a huge need. Okay. But yeah, actually as part... Ooh, Bomb Squad armor. As part of the, like, whole YouTube channel thing, the backlog thing and stuff like that, I'm actually starting to consider, like, restructuring my content. Just slightly. Not like, major game-changing and stuff like that. But I think as far as, like, YouTube versus streaming and stuff like that, I'm actually going to try and keep streaming for the, like, the more active games, the like, shorter, more digestible games. Because I noticed generally when I, like, start playing, say, Pillars of Eternity, for example, a lot of people are hanging out, but after a certain point, they're not really paying attention, the game doesn't matter, and we usually drop to 20/ like, minus 20 viewers. I mean, even now, we're at, like, 29, because I've stopped with, like, my main 2 games, and usually you lose a lot of people as part of it. Actually, I've had a number of people tell me that they're not even interested in, like, half of the games that I play. Like my Catacomb Kids, which honestly makes sense. Not everybody's down for it. But, you know, you're bound to lose, like, some amount of people as a result of it, too. But, like, it's more pronounced with stuff like Endless Legend and Pillars of Eternity. So I'm not entirely sure, like, how I want to do it, but it might end up... Oh, shoot, there's a treasure chest up there. Then again, Drill Ceiling's probably going to drop it for me, so I don't have to worry about it too hard. As long as I'm directly below it and don't have to worry about it. Let's see. Oh god, I would love to do more Binding of Isaac Rebirth races with Andrew. I should bother him. He's probably in the right time zone to do it too. Actually, he's like the only person in like a good time zone for me to do anything with nowadays. So I should see if he's actually busy and stuff like that. But, Oh, I could play some Binding of Isaac tonight. That'd be kind of fun. Ow! That hurt a little. That hurt a lot, and everything's exploding around me. This is not a good feeling. At least I'm ruining this guy. Which is good. I just wish he'd ruin a little bit faster. Because his minions are done messing me up. And I don't do a whole lot of damage here. doing some amount. But, like, I don't have the movement speed or the overall avoidance. Ooh, hello. Oh, he's got a head that's just chasing me around. That's scary business. Okay. Now that's actually a health pickup. I want that. There we go. But it might end up being one of those where, like, when I'm playing Pillars of Eternity or whatever, I might actually do that as, like, lengthier stream things on, like, the weekend, or, I don't know, some kind of, like, binge recording. So if you really want to see Pillars of Eternity, you can see Pillars of Eternity. But this way I don't have to subject people like, you know, Satari or, you know, the people that really don't care for Pillars to that along the way. And the other thing is, like, I tend to get, like, really engrossed in strategy games and spending a lot of time on it, too. I think that would be easier to do as, like, a specialized stream for people that are interested. Because, like, a lot of people are interested in, like, poking around at the various roguelikes I play, and there's, like, the tension of it, and it's like, is Wanderbot gonna win or lose? And admittedly, Cavern Kings, not one of those games. Cavern Kings, like, let's be honest here, maybe if I'm playing Entite, there's tension. But apart from that, there's not really a whole lot of tension to this game. It's just kind of like, yep. Then again, it was hairy there against that boss, just for a second, stuff like that. Yeah. And, like, the reason why I, like, stream my games at different times, I guess I could, you know, switch up my schedule and stuff, but, like, honestly, it seems like most people, ooh, let's get down. It seems like a lot of people are mostly there in the beginning for Vagante. I could be wrong. I really could be. I don't know how I want to, like, restructure my schedule and stuff like that. If I had the fortitude for it, I'd almost rather just have, like, specific days for specific games. It'd be a little bit easier to keep track of things, but I think that would also drive people insane, myself included. Like, I don't think I'd be able to play for Catacomb Kids for, like, 4 hours straight. I think that would drive me completely nuts. But the other thing is, like, this way people kind of know what my schedule is. So it's like, you know, you make it for Vagante, and you miss Vagante, it's pretty much Catacomb Kids. Of course, because Vagante can run from anywhere between an hour to 2.5, it does make things a little bit more variable. I'd kind of rather have, like, a full-on schedule as far as that goes. So if you've noticed, I'm trying to keep my my Vagante runs to be, like, multiple parts, and about an hour long each, because I think that's a little bit easier to organize and stuff like that. It's hard to tell. At least, like, most of my runs tend to be between the 45 and 60-minute mark. Though, that is kind of one of the weird factors that goes straight into my, my, like, scheduling issues and stuff. Because I've noticed, like, over time, originally when I was first doing YouTube and, like, runs and stuff, well, the longest episodes I ever had were, like, 30 minutes long. If even. I started with, like, 10 to 15 minutes, give or take. And then I quickly realized that that was complete butts. And a lot of people weren't going to be interested in that kind of content. I'm specifically thinking of, like, Amuler. First couple episodes are, like, 15 minutes long. I don't know if I'm going to get to that box. Yeah, I'm not going to. Darn. And, like, on one hand, I was like, yeah, you know, I can do this. But I ended up spending more time on the editing. You know, trying to figure out good times for cutting, stuff like that. And it was just like, this isn't worth it. And, like, slowly my content has gone longer and longer and longer. Maybe some amount of if it is laziness, some amount of it might just be purely just like, I have the content. So I do it anyway. And say if you play Catacomb Kids for too long, you become a Catacomb Kid. Well, I mean, I'm not even going to say it's, like, true irony of my situation, but, like, I live in a basement. So, you could say I am a Catacomb Kid. Hardy har har. Anyway, let's actually drop down here. Please don't murder me. Thank you very much. Because there's not a whole lot of safety in numbers here. There we go. Do we have a key? No, we don't have that key. There we go. This is, like, the worst placed zone I've ever been in. By a long shot. I'm just gonna leave. Like, this is not worth being in there. Stuff like that. But yeah, I'm trying to, like, experiment with it, and it seems like a lot of people will watch it. It almost seems like people are more interested in the game after a certain point. Like, when you're first starting out on YouTube, audience retention and stuff like that is super important. But to a degree, at this point, it's just kind of like, alright, do whatever you want. People are just going to watch it anyway. I'm trying to aim for, like, the 30 to 45 minute mark, because I think an hour is a little bit long for everybody involved. Okay, you guys hurt a lot. Oh, you know what I said about tension? This is actually kind of tense. That should factor it down a little bit. That should make things interesting too. Okay, but at least we got a better drill now. That's gonna drop the chest. Chest ain't coming back. That's okay, we'll find it on the next floor. We'll have to pay attention. Let's go follow in its footsteps. Here's the question, where'd that chest go? There it is. Okay. Oh god, why? What the hell is this? Is this like worm smorgasbord time? It is. Why? This is why I like having extra jumps. It keeps me from death. How many are there? Oh, sweet Jesus. How are we still alive? I don't even know. Lots of hard work and determination, that's for certain. I keep rolling along them, that they do not stop coming. Hey, toxic flask. That, oh shit, that's a lot of rocks. We do not want to deal with that business. Let's see if I can blast them when we get over to this thing. There we go. That'll protect our butts. And now we can just ruin everybody. Thank you, knives. Thank you, McDonald's, for saving my ass. Product placement. Not intended. Anyway. Let's get out of here. Sort of, maybe. Please don't kill me. See, I want health. It's not giving it to me. Give or take. But, like, the other day... Okay. The other day I was actually, I made a... Well, somebody made a post about that podcast I was running, and... Whew. And that toxic flask is really boosting my damage, actually. I'm kind of enjoying it. Okay. But somebody made a post asking about, like, why I haven't done the podcast in a while. And it's like, honestly, my schedule, just post-convention, was nightmarish. It's just like, how am I going to get all of my content back? And, like, prior to it, it's just like, how am I going to do a podcast? So that thing went on, like, massive hiatus. I mean, I need to bring it back. I think one of the problems is, like, I want to have my own podcast. Not, like, a specific, like, place-themed one, but at the same time, it's kind of one of those, like, once I'm big enough, I can have my own. And it won't be a problem. So I might as well kind of do my own thing. I'm hoping to bring that soon. But, like, it is just hard scheduling. Like, scheduling just in general. Maybe if I had, like, a normal sleep schedule. Like a normal person, you know, slept from... Oh, scattershot, please. Thank you. I like scattershot with this gun. It makes me happy. Anyway, I'm not... Yeah, there we go. We get double... I mean, we're effectively... it's a little bit less than doubles our damage, but it gets close. I hope they don't debalance it too much. I don't even know. I don't even know. But... yeah, post-convention, everything has just been all over the place. Oh, man. I actually spent, like, most of... I want to say Sunday night, prior to streaming, I was trying to set up Bloodborne co-op with Sebastian SB. And or Keith. I'm just going to call it Keith. It's easier to say Keith. But we're going to start doing... We're going to start doing Bloodborne co-op. And... that ended up being, like, a gigantic waste of time. I was actually really disappointed. Because, like, the one problem with recording and stuff is, like, everything pretty much has to be done in one shot. Or, I mean, you can do it multiple times, but it's usually just not as genuine or whatever. Or good. So, for example, we're trying to do, like, beating the... Well, first and foremost, probably should not record when I haven't slept in, like, 4 days. I get salty real fast. Like... I can maintain, like, super positivity if things have been, like, going well in my life and, like, I'm well rested, I'm well fed, and I don't need to pee. I find if I need to pee, I actually get, like, hella cranky, which kind of makes sense. Yeah, I was juggling that dude. Fun juggle. Anyway, please die so I can get this. Thank you. Parasite. Does not murder me that much anymore now that I know what I'm doing. Go get that golden box before it... I mean, seriously, everything's exploding in gems. Must have a lot of... Nope, I don't even have a whole lot of gilding. That's okay, too. Let's see. Yeah, I need to sit down and, like, organize podcast stuff. I'll no, I'm stuck in a hole. Alright, fine. At least we got, like, slide dodge, which is kind of nice. Who's even hitting me over there? I don't even know. And he's already dead. Nice. And the Ankh is... Yes. So that increases it by 1. Ooh. And that's Dracul blood, too. Which is nice. But yeah, no, we were trying to record Bloodborne co-op, and it was kind of a nightmare, just because it's one of those where, no, I should just do a Wander Rabble podcast. I just need to figure out people that I could do it with. I guess if I just did it with one other person, it wouldn't be so bad. Probably be easier to structure, too. Come to think of it. But, yeah, I could do that. I'll have to bug somebody about it. Don't know who I'm gonna bug. Probably multiple people. Maybe it would be like 2 to 3 people. Because 4 is hard to get unless everybody's like super involved and stuff like that. Also, almost left the level preemptively. That would have sucked. Draco Blood, such a lifesaver, especially at this stage in the game. The knockback's starting to get a little annoying. This is why I like playing Thorax, actually. Thorax is nice. Also, are we listening? We are listening to Team Rocket music. Nice. Oh, Jesus Christ. You came out of nowhere. There we go. Thank you, Vortex Cube. Black hole box? Black hole box. There we go. I don't know why I wanted to call it a Vortex Cube. Sounded cool, though. I'm just gonna leave. That was too messy. There's barely anything left. Just trying to think of, like, scheduling, hiatuses, stuff like that. Oh, right. So somebody actually was asking about the podcast. And I was just like, honestly, my schedule is just so nightmarish right now. Ooh, this is pain. My schedule is so nightmarish right now, I just haven't had the chance to even think about organizing any kind of podcast, much less like a Let's Play related one. And so, you know, things go super on the back burner. And somebody actually, you know, well, the guy that asked the question was like, you know, I was like, all right, fine. I might as well just check out your channel as part of this to see if you had done any more. And, like, he said something about, like, holy hell, your content is good. And, like, honestly, I get a lot of comments saying, like, you know, you should be a bigger YouTuber, stuff like that. You know, found you from this, and, you know, you're wonderful and stuff like that. Honestly, like, all of the compliments are great. Lots of people show up, too, and it's kind of one of those where it's like, I'm not used to being paid so many compliments, honestly. You go to art school and you just effectively get shat on all the time, which, honestly, is a good thing. Because artists with egos are, like, very not good. I know that's not, like, true proper English, but that's what I'm gonna say here. Because, like, I've run into a lot of... Oh, God, that's a wildly different topic that I can talk about, too. But like, I'm not used to compliments, especially from other Let's Players. Like, I get a lot of compliments from audience members, and to some degree, it's one of those where it's like, I have to discount it a little bit, because most people that, like, look at my stuff and enjoy my stuff are fans, so it's kind of like, you can't, I mean, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because fans are inherently inclined to enjoy your stuff. I'm sure PewDiePie's fans think him to be, you know, the best Let's Player in the universe. Whereas personally, I think it would be Chipshism and General Ironicus, which most people disagree with me about purely because of their, I don't know, sheer anonymity. Hard to tell. Either way, hey, battery. Yeah. But, you know, you have to take everything with a grain of salt. And so when, like, a bunch of people showed up to be, like, you know, complimenting both, like, my video release schedule and, like, just the quality of my videos and, like, stuff like that, I'm just like, how do I even respond to this? I don't even know. I have yet to. And like, it's actually one of those where, like, when people pay me compliments, I just kind of sit there and I'm like, yay. Also, I don't know how to deal with, like, this level of positive reinforcement. Maybe it's because, like, my parents are not particularly, I'm not gonna, like, besmirch my parents too much. They're pretty okay people, but they're not exactly all about the positive reinforcement. Like, they were never very good at encouraging me to do anything one way or another. Oh, God, that was close. I don't even know what happened there. Must have gotten smacked around. That was close. But what the dicks was that? It just spawned another one. Didn't even know that. But, like, it's just such a weird feeling to be complimented. Oh, spikes. That might have been what bumped me up earlier. Oh, let's get them out of the mix. I do not want to get flung off into the sky. That is brutal business. Let's grab the chestbow. Ooh, triple shot. Yeah. Now all I need is another jackhammer so I get better hang time. Man, hang time makes me want to go play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. That was like one of my favorite games back in the day. And then all the skate games only came out on consoles. Bleh. More games need to come out on PC. Hello. Thank you. We got all of the stuff. But it's like, it's super flattering across the board. I actually had a much larger YouTuber, I've mentioned it before, Dragast, come onto one of my, like, earlier streams, like, a couple months ago, and said something like, to the extent of I sound like a younger version of Northern Line or something like that, and I'm like, that is actually a really high compliment, just considering the dude has, what, 60, 70,000 subscribers at this point, like, or so? And I'm kind of sad, actually, because as a result of this, he barely has any time for me, or, like, any of my friends, because it's like, alright, I'm one of the largest people in my social circle, comparatively. All of my social circles, because anytime any of my other friends gets huge, they're just like, alright, going off, doing whatever. And that's always, oh man, I am rambling the hell out of today, but that's okay. It's always kind of like a complicated situation of like, I mentioned earlier that, you know, my friends aren't nearly as motivated about YouTube as I am, and it's like, I can recognize that, you know, a lot of people aren't cut out for it, a lot of people just don't want to do it. A lot of them actually just kind of don't do much and then question why they're small, or realize why they're small and just kind of make self-deprecating jokes. And like, honestly, I may be a little bit too, non-adventurous. I'm not very adventurous about, like, meeting new people and stuff like that, and I honestly need to. The problem is, like, I can go and look at, like, Vagante or Catacomb Kids and stuff like that, and it's, like, me, Sleep Cycles, Rayquaza. Honestly, maybe I could get in contact with Sleep Cycles, but the last time I tried tweeting out him, he didn't say anything, so it's like, alright, fine, whatever. I could probably bother him again. Especially now that I'm not, like, a 10th his size, and I'm actually only a 3rd. That is a weird thing on YouTube, too. Okay, I'm going all over the place today. But, so, you know, I've mentioned a lot of times that, like, you know, larger YouTubers generally don't give you the time of day. But so, for example, I have 3,160 subscribers, give or take. Something like that. You know, that's a fairly respectable number. Of course, hey, there we go. That's our first lump of iron, actually. Oh, good timing, too. This is not a good place to be. Thank you, Draculblood, for keeping me topped off, though. Okay. I don't even know what's going on. I'm trying to pay attention to chat and, like, just shooting out. Oh, God, what is this business? Like, something's on fire over here. Shit's on fire, yo. And now question marks across the board. I don't even know. There's a lot of gems here, though. Like, excessive amounts. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being flagrantly wealthy. But so, it's very easy to, you know, take a look at numbers and just be like, well, I only have 3,000 subscribers. But, like, the reality of the situation is, I'm only a 10th about as large as, you know, somebody with 30,000. Or, I mean, 1%. 1% of somebody with 300,000. Now, that's a little bit more of a stretch. But when you, like, base things down to fractionals and stuff like that, it's like, wow, there really isn't that much of a mathematical difference between, like, you and me. And it's always kind of like a weird situation. It's like, at what point, like, what are the weird boundaries that, like, YouTubers can interact with each other or will interact with each other? I think it's easier to break it up into kind of like a tier-based system that, you know, I currently have quadruple digits, 3,000. And so it's appropriate to interact with people between 1,000 and 10,000. Give or take. And anybody above 10,000 probably won't interact with you, probably won't spend the time. And, ooh, McDonald's, yeah. And anybody above, you know, 100,000 won't interact with somebody with 10,000, something like that. But the problem is, like, you also run into a lot of people that have, like, next to no views, or, like, they're trying to do videos on something or other, and that, you know, it's very obvious that they just do not have the audience base for it. So, for example, you know, who's a good example? Oh, Eutoric. He's a British YouTuber, did a lot of stuff with, like, nanners for quite a while, and I think he still does. But, like, the guy does Binding of Isaac videos at this point, and his audience is just completely disinterested. So, like, comparatively, despite the fact that he's already friends with them, so he's not a good example, content-wise, most people don't watch his stuff, so I would actually almost be on par with him. And so it's kind of like, how do you factor that in, too? And I guess the reality situation is, I honestly don't know. Mainly because I haven't really tried, and I feel kind of bad about that, because, you know, I mentioned I'm very conservative about, like, who I interact with. But, like, most of my friends are well within the, Am I? Okay, good, I can afford it. I was like, how do I not have enough money for this chest? It's hard to tell. But, like, it's hard to find good people. And it's sad when, like, all the good people are gone. Or just not there, period. Like, I actually had some, like, really good friends in the very beginning of YouTube that have all quit. And it's just kind of like, I'm not going to say that, like, if you ever start a YouTube quitio. No, if you ever start, like, a YouTube channel and stuff like that, don't quit. But, like, the amount of people that I, like, did collaborations with very, very early on, the people that were, like, way funnier than me, way more interesting, way more, like, animated, way more whatever, have just, like, died out. And I wonder if it's kind of one of those where it's, like, the brightest candles burn the shortest, or whatever that phrase is supposed to be. I'm terrible with my idioms. Is that an idiom? Or is it a saying? I don't even know. But, like, there are a lot of people that, like, probably are super passionate about YouTube, but they can't maintain it. And so you get people like me and Keith and I don't know who else is a good example that's more kind of like even keel, almost businessman-like about the whole thing, where it's just like, all right, I just got to keep doing this. And they tend to be a little bit more on the I'm not going to say the, like, boring side of things, but the less excitable. You know what? I'm just going to dig right down here and stuff like that. And, like, honestly, I wouldn't even consider myself boring at this point. Also, my tail is long and luxurious. But, like, it truly feels like commitment is the biggest factor in YouTube. Like, you could actually be a really boring person and still manage to maintain quite the audience. And honestly, there are a lot of people that are super boring. I go back and, like, watch a couple of people's, like, solo stuff, and it's just like, duh, you are only funny if you have friends nearby. And that's a sad statement to make. And it's kind of one of those interesting things where, for me, it's the reverse is true. Anytime I try and do, like, a cooperative video, 90% of the time, nobody seems to give a damn about it. Like, I've noticed people, like, every once in a while come through and, like, pay compliments to, like, the stuff Shell and I did along the way, or Gmod. I need to bring Gmod back, honestly. I did some streaming of it, but, like, I just haven't had the time. More per se, I haven't had the people to organize for it. Okay, let's not get murdered as we escape here. The flame that burns twice as bright lives half as long. Thank you for that, Dargona. That is the exact phrase that I was looking for. Even though I got the gist of it, it was not nearly as poetic. Anyway, ooh, more scattershot. Yeah, this is gonna be a good run. Might be a bit of a long run, though, which is kind of a shame, but I don't even know. I kind of hope they involve some kind of quick save system for this game, because I would love to have, like, a two-part episode where we do cycles 1 and 2. Because I really don't want to go on to Cycle 2, but we're probably well enough on our way. We're not quite as defensible as I'd like to be, but at the same time, at this point, I'd consider the run a success just because. I should probably also, you know, bung my way out of here, otherwise we're in trouble. Stuff like that. So, like, the thing is, I don't need to play Gmod on, like, anybody's servers. I can host my own. It's just a matter of, like, I am very picky on, like, who I collaborate with a lot of games, like, and it's rare that I will actually find somebody that I enjoy playing with, repeatedly. So, for example, I did the, none of those guys watch my videos anyway. So I did the Binding of Isaac races. The most recent set was with Birdcatcher and TLE. And so if you don't know either of those guys, both are people that I kind of interacted with well, no, Bird I still interact with and probably will not stop, regardless of, like, what status of YouTube I get to. And, like, eventually I'd love to bring him on as, like, a full-time collaborator if I ever make it full-time YouTube as well. But he's probably going to just be a computer programmer or something like that regardless. And he'll just show up in videos because funny. And I gave him a key. And we're not done. But the other guy I did it with was TLE, who not exactly as much of a committed member of, like, my group. I think a large amount of it is just simply he has commitment issues, actually. It's a great example. I mean, Bird is slightly committed to YouTube, but Bird is slightly committed to many, many things. He does art classes, he does game design, he does all of these things. So he's more just kind of like a fun hobbyist type person. Still does, puts up videos though, which, I mean, props to him. But it doesn't seem like he's that interested in growing anymore. Man, when I was starting out, I was like, this guy is like perfect in every regard. But just, you know, lack of SEO, lack of like trying to cover the latest games, more or less makes it so it doesn't matter anymore. But so for the Binding of Isaac head-to-head, for example, it's kind of one of those where it's like, I tried to do it with him for varying levels of success. For Bird, he was kind of newbie, and for TLE, he was super drunk, to the point where it's just like, this is lackluster content, and I'm feeling it, like, really badly. And I think I was also really tired that night, so it's kind of hard to say. Let's see. Yeah, I would like to go back to Don't Starve. Actually, Don't Starve is the one series, so, this is kind of in response to, Roxy Smile talking about Don't Starve Together. I actually have, 2 Don't Starve Together series. One is currently unaired, and I just need to air it up. The other one is currently in the progress of being filmed. The problem is, so I mentioned Bird and Gnomes a lot, just because those are pretty much my 2 direct buddies apart from Keith. Both of them are students, and like I said, Bird is, you know, interested in a great many things, passively so. So he is, you know, opera, choir, programming, game design, like, plethora of things. Meaning, he gets busy. Less busy than Gnomes, though. Gnomes is hella busy. And so I've been waiting for Gnomes to not be busy again so we can film more Don't Starve Together. Because I really, really want to play more of that game. It is so good. Problem is, Gnomes is, like, completely scatterbrained. So, like, our ability to survive is gimped by our ability to think rationally. Hint. We can't. Or at least, more per se, Gnomes usually gets us killed somehow, which is kind of an impressive feat, to say the least. Can I bust this thing up? I hope so. There we go, got it. Treasure chest! I always hate it when I leave the floor and I didn't get the treasure chest. I don't even know how, like, my health is doing so good. Oh, wait, there's a canister over here. Perfect. But yeah, no, Don't Starve Together is actually one of the games that I really want to go back to. And is probably something that I'm going to go through at some point and actually sit down and be like, this is going to be like a consistent series with like these people and like more committed YouTubers. But that kind of factors back into my thing of like, part of the reason why I'm super hopeful that I get to the point where I can like go full time within the end of the year is, and like my talk of like the tiers and stuff like that is, once I cross the like 10,000 threshold, you start hitting people that are at least doing YouTube mostly full time or at least super committed. So I could probably get to the point where I'm actually doing Don't Starve Together with like multiple people that are very committed to YouTube and actually have open schedules to do so. Because as it stands, trying to do you know lengthy collaborations that require a lot of commitment with people that have jobs, that have school, that have homework, that have, you know, less interest and less riding on the fact that, you know, they need to make these videos to grow. Actually, I should probably see if I can talk to Modi Operandus. Come to think of it, he does Don't Starve Together. Interesting question. I have no idea what his schedule is like. Also, holy crap, that thing's still alive. Holy crap, we're pretty much fucked. Oh god, that was probably one of the closest shaves I've ever had. At least the boss is comically easy at this point. Thank you, Frost. There we go. Whew. Still alive. Can't believe it. But, yeah. No, once you hit, you know, tier, what? I guess 1 to 100 is tier 1. 100 to 1000 is sort of 1.5, kind of hard to tell. There's still a lot of, like, interaction between both of those tiers, though a little bit less so. And then once you're up to, like, you know, 1000, it's pretty much 1000 to 10,000. Some of the 100s in there. And then 10,000 plus... Oh, burst fire. Alright. Fine, let's see if it's busted. It is. Damn it. Well, that's probably a death sentence. We'll figure it out. Why is it so inconsistent? I don't even know. Well, whatever. Sometimes it's nice to accept death. I really hope they fix it for the next patch, just because I love burst fire, just because it's ridiculous, but at the same time, I also like, you know, being able to float through the sky and stuff like that. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, stuff like that. Hard to tell. Oh, that's plenty of health if I needed it, and explosions. That's okay, too. But, I don't know. It's messy. It's weird. YouTube is hard. If any of you guys are getting into YouTube, pick a schedule, stick to it. Don't stop for anything. Real life, try and make allowances. Not real life, what are you doing? Oh god, I'm trying to think. There's a YouTuber a while back who plays like loads of games with friends and stuff, all of which who have like microphones and stuff like that. And they never ever seem to ever record it. And that always confused me a lot. Like if you're going to be going through and doing like effectively what you'd be doing if you were going for YouTube. I'm just going to leave. That looks like a giant pain in the butt. But like the guy lived through it. Oh, these guys are scary business. Because once you get past the head, it's not so bad. I don't even know where that health came from. Let's see. We're down to 20 viewers. You know what? Maybe it's just the fact that, like, once we're done with Catacomb Kids and Vagante, it drops a little bit. And that's fine with me. I wonder if I should play Bloodborne tonight. I don't even know what time it is. So that might have a bit of a hand in it. Either that or people aren't super interested in this game, which is entirely true as well, because it's not super exciting comparatively. I have no idea what I want to do tonight. All of which are fun, and we're about to die. Still not dead yet. Still not dead yet. Still not dead yet. Like, it's one of those where I hate throwing runs, but at the same time, if I die, I'm not going to be unhappy. Let's leave. But yeah. Dargona says the best way to start YouTubing is, you know, play with somebody that you can riff off of. I agree to some degree. My recommendation is sort of similar. My recommendation is when you start YouTubing, make friends and keep playing with friends as long as you can. Never, ever go solo. Solo is hard. And when I say solo, I don't mean like, oh shoot, I'm staying on a trap. I don't mean like what I do, which is like solo channel. That kind of solo is okay. But like, you need other people. You need sounding boards, you need friends, you need collaborators. Even if you're not like making videos with them. Though it is a lot easier to make videos with people that you know. Okay, we're in a bit of a hairy situation. Is that a key? That's not a key. That's a key. But like, I see a lot of people asking about like setting up, and I'm dead. I see a lot of people setting up, yeah, I'm definitely screwed, but that's okay. Yeah, it is a lot easier if you can like actually record with a friend. Honestly, when I started with Shell, it was actually super nice. But the problem is, when I say like motivation and stuff with YouTube, that goes doubly so with like direct collaborators. So if you're sharing a channel with somebody and they start losing motivation and you only want to do co-commentary stuff, you're kind of screwed. And that's not a good situation to be in. So I've got a friend, Captain Har from Right Click Regulars, and he's on a, you know, dual commentary channel, 2 people. Problem is, both of the commentators he's ever had along the way have effectively lost interest. And that's kind of a shame because, you know, here's one person that's still super motivated for YouTube and one person that's not. And so you end up going solo whether you like it or not, and that's kind of a sad situation to be in, because, well, if you're doing like a true co-commentary channel, you gotta make sure both people are like super motivated and stuff like that. But yeah, if you can, the easiest way I'd say would do it would be find another friend, have both people make a channel and continue that way and grow off of each other. Might even actually be better that way, but it's hard to tell. But the other thing is, like, get good at co-commentary, switch over to solo. The reality of the situation is there's not actually a whole lot of crossover skill between the two. Because, like, you really need a lot of practice before you can do solo commentary. Especially to this, like, extent where you can talk for hours and hours and hours on end without going like, and not knowing what to say. I do say a lot, which I'm still trying to work on, but still. Either way. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Cavern Kings, and as always, thanks for watching.